Hi Taurus, this is your May prediction with Lada from astrolada.com, and I think I have the longest prediction for you because there are so many things affecting Taurus this month. It will be, especially from the end of April, you start feeling the last 10 days of April and the first 10-15 days of May. It's the time when everything is happening, you know, and it's actually eclipse time as well. The eclipses, two of the eclipses are affecting directly your sign, Taurus, which always leads to big changes happening. There might be reversals, big cleansing period of new things coming, old things going away. So let's start. First of all, you feel it from the end of April, from the second part of April already, and the first part of May, that quite a few planets, 4 planets are in your sign of Taurus. And this is a big trigger, you know. The Sun, Venus, Mars, Mercury, and this is the period when you start awakening, you know, when you start feeling, as I said, from the end of April, from the second part of April, that some of you a bit later, some of you a bit early, like infusing of life, infusing of impetus and stimulus to get up and go, to start initiating things. First house, your own sign. This is the first house in astrology. Whether it's your ascendant in Taurus, your sun, or your moon. It just infuses, when planets trigger it, it gives you an impulse of new beginnings. First house is new, you know. It's also the house of Dharma. And the Dharmic house is one that puts you on the path, on the right path in life, where you're supposed to go, you know. The first house is the house which is called where the path that you're supposed to tread on. You know, every soul has a path in life that it wants to follow, and often we do not follow it. Often we get off on, you know, and this is if we follow this path, it brings us fulfillment and it brings us happiness. When we have our own ideas about what will make us happy, and we go off and we feel less and less happy, and we don't realize why. And during this period, when so many planets are triggering this dharmic house for you, you're likely to experience something, to meet something, to hear, to meet someone, to hear something from TV, or, you know, read something that will focus you more, will give you more clarity and idea about what your path, what your dharmic path is supposed to be, the path of most fulfillment. So some of you might get clarity about your purpose, about where you're supposed to be, you know, and direction in some way. And also, as we said, there is this infusal of energy to make a difference, to start doing things. So it's a great time for you to initiate new things, to initiate a new chapter in your life. And particularly because in your sign, in April, in the end of April, and in May, there are 2 eclipses happening. It means that a lot of old things will be taken away from you. When eclipse happens, it basically takes something away from you that is no longer relevant, and it brings you something new. But during this period, the person feels quite critical and quite stressed, because eclipse hides the sun somehow, you know, and the eclipse puts a bit of a darkness where you are, you know, and because it's in your sign, there might be confusion in the first part, you know, maybe for a month. Some of you might feel like this fear, this paranoia, you know, this worry, this uncertainty, and that things are getting away from you. Things are like, you feel like things cannot be anymore like they were before, and they start, you know, life starts taking those things away from you, and this can create this tension and fear in you about what the future will bring. But keep faith, because what will be brought, eclipses always bring also something new. It might be down the road, because an eclipse, even though it happens now in May, it lasts for the duration of the whole year. And when eclipses happen in your sign, Taurus, once in 9 years, and the eclipses are happening in 2013 in your sign, starting from now, and part of 2014. So it's a big exclamation mark for Taurus, is that this is new beginning for Taurus, for a lot of Tauruses. This is a time of cleansing, in particular, of getting rid of old. And if you don't want to do it, life will take it away from you in some way, and starting on a new path. And particularly those Tauruses will feel it, who have their ascendant or their moon from 15 to about 24 degrees in Taurus, or who are born about from the 6th till the 15th of May one of the eclipses, that's when they feel it, from the 6th to the 15th of May, or more, in particularly those born on the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th of May, because it's affecting the sun, the moon, or the ascendant directly, the eclipse. So these are the people who will have this more big reversals, those big cleansing, this state of more fearfulness in their head of what the future will bring. But you need to have deep faith during eclipses, because the one above, whoever is making all these things, whoever is bringing us all those signs through the stars, is doing it for your ultimate good. So just be in a mode when you're willing to let go of certain things, when the eclipses will happen in my time, of the ascendant, this is when my life turned around. So for a lot of you, this will be so. And also when eclipse happens in your first house, it also triggers the 7th house. And eclipses are caused by the 2 karmic nodes. So they tend to bring, often especially people who have their ascendant in Taurus, they might meet partners. They might meet someone that is to stay in their life for a long time. Potential marriage partner, potential, long-term boyfriend, girlfriend, partner. And usually it might happen by first having to let go of someone from the past as well. So there might be some ending of relationship and some new ones coming. Or if you're single, there might be like certain fears and worries when it comes to relationships and about your own path, where am I going? But the eclipse can bring this person, this very karmic person, interestingly enough. So for Taurus, especially Taurus ascendant, can feel this, that can happen, and moon and sun to a lesser degree as well, but they can also be prepared. The year 2013, the eclipses are happening in May now and in April, so the fears become stronger then, but actually it is indicated that this whole year 2013 is a potential year for you to meet the one, or to meet someone very important, or some very important person in your life who is there to stay, who will upturn your life upside down for good, hopefully, and also it's some new energies, very new energies infused into your relationship, especially from contacts with people. And another thing is that, just a second. Yes, so it's a good time, if the eclipse is happening on your sun in particular, those born from 6th till the 15th of May, in particular 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th of May will feel the strongest. The sun usually represents your role in life that you play, the biggest role, which is usually career. So there might be a big fears or sudden reversals happening to do with your career, and it's, again, I said May is when the eclipse happens, but it can indicate that the whole year 2013 might be a year of changes to do, big changes to do with your career and the path that you want to take in life when it comes to your career and to your goals. The sun is also your goals. What are you here to do? What is the biggest role you have to play? No, this is where the changes are happening. And also it's male figures, so there might be some, sudden changes happening there. But also the sun shows your own self-confidence. And when an eclipse happens, it's a bit, this self-confidence is emptied out of you. As I said, there is a sense of fear that often people have around this period. But again, it comes to trigger into new action. It comes to make space for something new. And just try not to succumb to negative feelings and to worries too much. Another group of people that I want to give specific days is those who have their ascendant or their moon at around from 5 to around 9 degrees in Taurus, or those who have their sun, who are born basically from the 25th to about the 29th latest of April, plus minus a day or two or a degree or two the most. They're having Saturn transit, and Saturn is another kind of heavy influence, Saturn tends to, again, test you. But Saturn requires a lot of hard work, and Saturn can make you doubt yourself again as well. It's similarly influenced by an eclipse, but it just feels more heavy. It doesn't feel so panicky as an eclipse. and confusing, but it feels more heavy and it puts more responsibilities on you. So those of you that I mentioned might have to work harder, whether at relationship, at work, at responsibilities in their life, at maybe building foundations for some business or for something in their life which requires a lot of hard work. So the key word for Saturn is work hard, take day by day. Don't start projecting yourself too much into the future and thinking too much, because you might start thinking more negative and feeling more disheartened. Just stay in the present. Try and raise your vibrations when Saturn is around by getting sun. Sun is one thing that lifts up the vibrations of Saturnian transits, which are very rare, those transits. They happen once in 15 years, such heavy Saturn transits for you, you know. And it might be a very testing period for you. But those of you who are usually more self-disciplined, hardworking, or who are at least making an attempt at that, will be able to get a lot of constructive work done and a lot of productive, to be quite productive during this period. But again, the feelings of fear tend to be always around there, and also there might be some testing of your relationships, of your confidence as well with others, because Saturn makes the aspect from the seventh sign from you, which is like a sign of relationships. The opposite sign is always the sign that you're in. Taurus is you, and the opposite sign where Saturn is sending this aspect from is other people. So there might be some like pressure from others, or pressure on your relationship, or some testing of your relationships which are really loyal and good will survive this period. Those that are not might be actually let go of, you know. But the eclipse being very close to those degrees as well can bring some new people into your life, as I said, some new energizing influence from your relationships there. Yes, Taurus, so quite an interesting period. I think there will be a lot of new beginnings for quite a few of you. Don't succumb to the stresses of eclipses. They can create a lot of drama or fears, or also sudden changes. But people who are up for some, you know, for some unpredictability will be, some Tauruses will be reveling in that energy. You know, it's very renewing energy. But as I said, the whole year is so big for you Tauruses with all those eclipses. They're like, expect new careers, expect new relationships, expect new ways of approaching those, if not, you know, attitudes at least, which will eventually improve those areas of your life. Thank you.